Hello everyone and welcome to the John and Sarah podcast. My name is Sarah and I am so excited to be here with you today.
And I'm John. We are very happy that you joined us. This podcast is a place where you can listen, practice, and learn English in a very easy and natural way. Every day we share conversations about simple but important topics, and you can follow along. Repeat the sentences and improve step by step.
Exactly. And today we are going to talk about something that is very common in everyone's life, daily routines. Why is this topic so useful? Because when you meet new people, one of the first things you can talk about is your daily routine. It's simple, and it helps to keep the conversation going.
Yes, and daily routines also give you the chance to use some of the most common verbs in English. Wake up, eat, go, work, sleep. These are verbs that you will use every single day. If you practice them with us, you will remember them more easily and feel more confident when speaking.
And remember, you don't need to understand everything perfectly. Just relax, listen, and repeat some of the sentences after us. The more you repeat, the more natural English will sound in your head.
Before we begin, let's take a quick moment to say, if you are new here, please subscribe to our channel. We publish a new podcast every single day, so if you want free daily English practice, subscribing is the best way to stay connected.
And don't forget to click the like button if you find this video useful. It helps us a lot, and it also shows YouTube that this content is helpful for learners like you.
Yes, and we also love reading your comments. So at the end of this episode, we want you to write about your own daily routine in English. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The most important thing is to practice.
That's right. In fact, many learners feel nervous about writing or speaking in English because they are afraid of making mistakes. But here's a secret. Mistakes are not bad. Mistakes are proof that you are learning. So don't be afraid. Share your sentences in the comments, and we will encourage you.
And another important point, when you talk about daily routines, you are not just practicing grammar. You are also practicing rhythm, pronunciation, and speaking naturally. For example, instead of saying every word very slowly, I wake up at 7, you can try to say it smoothly. I wake up at 7.
Good point, John. And don't worry. We will give you plenty of examples in this episode. You can listen, repeat, and even pause the podcast if you need more time. This is your learning space, and you can go at your own speed.
So, let's get started. In today's podcast, we will first talk about Sarah's routine, and then I will share mine. You will notice that some things are similar and some things are different. That's the fun part. Everyone has their own way of living the day.
Yes, and while we are talking, try to think about your own routine. Ask yourself, what time do I wake up? What do I usually eat for breakfast? Do I take the bus, drive, or walk to work? This way, you are not just listening, you are actively practicing.
Perfect. So once again, welcome to our channel. Thank you for choosing to learn English with us today. Get ready to practice, to repeat, and to enjoy.
Let's begin. So, let me start by telling you about my daily routine. I usually wake up at 6:30 in the morning. The first thing I do is stretch a little and check my phone to turn off the alarm.
6:30? That's pretty early. Do you feel tired when you wake up or do you feel fresh?
Honestly, sometimes I feel sleepy, but stretching really helps me wake up. After that, I go to the bathroom, wash my face, and brush my teeth.
Good. So after brushing your teeth, do you usually take a shower in the morning?
Yes, many times I do. A quick shower makes me feel ready for the day. Then I go to the kitchen and prepare my breakfast.
Oh, breakfast. That's an important part of the routine. What do you usually eat?
I usually eat toast with butter and jam, and I drink a cup of tea. Sometimes when I have more time, I like to eat eggs and fruit.
That sounds delicious. I think breakfast is one of the best meals of the day. And what time do you normally finish breakfast?
Around 7:15, after breakfast. I get dressed and prepare my bag for the day. I make sure I have everything I need. My phone, my notebook, and sometimes a bottle of water.
So by 7:30, you're ready. What happens next?
At 7:30, I usually leave the house. I take the bus to work. The ride takes about 30 minutes, and I use that time to listen to music or a podcast in English.
Oh, that's smart. So even during your commute, you are practicing English. That's a great idea for our listeners, too. Turn your travel time into learning time.
Yes, exactly. It makes the bus ride more interesting, and I also feel that I am learning something useful. When I arrive at work, I start my tasks for the day.
And what is the first thing you do at work?
Usually, I check my emails and make a list of things I need to do. Around 10 o'clock, I take a short break, drink some water or coffee, and sometimes chat with my colleagues.
Perfect. That's a very clear morning routine. Let me repeat quickly for our listeners. Sarah wakes up at 6:30. She washes, sometimes takes a shower, eats toast and tea for breakfast, prepares her bag, leaves home at 7:30, takes the bus, listens to English, and then starts work with emails.
Yes, that's my morning in a simple way.
Great! And now let's compare with my own routine, which is a little different. But before that, let's invite our listeners to think, what time do you wake up? Do you take the bus or do you drive? What do you usually eat for breakfast?
Exactly. Try to answer these questions in your head, or even better, write them down in English. This will help you practice your own daily routine.
Now it's my turn to share my daily routine. My day usually starts a little later than Sarah's. I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
7 o'clock? That's 30 minutes later than me. Do you feel like that's enough sleep?
Most of the time, yes. I try to go to bed early, so waking up at 7 gives me enough rest. The very first thing I do is drink a big glass of water. It makes me feel fresh and gives me energy.
That's a healthy habit. After that, what's next?
Then I brush my teeth and get dressed quickly. I don't usually eat breakfast at home. Instead, I like to buy a coffee on my way to work.
Oh, so you don't prepare food in the morning?
Not really. I prefer to save time. Sometimes I take a small snack with me, like a banana, but most days it's just coffee.
Interesting. So, how do you usually go to work? Do you also take the bus like me?
No, I usually walk. My office is not very far, maybe 15 minutes on foot. I actually enjoy walking because it's like light exercise, and I can listen to an audiobook or a podcast during the walk.
That's great. So you also use your travel time to practice English, just like me on the bus.
Exactly. I think it's a simple way for learners too. If you have 10 or 20 minutes of walking, waiting, or traveling, you can always use that time to listen to English.
Very true. So when you arrive at your office, what do you do first?
The first thing I do is open my laptop and check my emails. Then I make a to-do list for the day. Around 9:30 or 10 o'clock, I usually take a small break. Just like you. I get a second coffee or eat a snack to recharge.
So, your routine is similar to mine in some parts, but also different. You wake up later, you don't eat breakfast at home, and you walk to work.
Yes, exactly. But in the end, we both prepare in the morning, go to work, and start with emails. That's why daily routine is such a universal topic. Everyone has their own style, but the actions are often the same.
That's true. And for our listeners, it's a perfect chance to practice sentences like, I wake up at 7, I drink water, I walk to work.
Right. And remember, you don't need long, complicated sentences. Start small. For example, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I drink coffee. These are short but very clear.
Exactly. And later, you can add details, like, I wake up at 7, I brush my teeth in the bathroom, I drink coffee on my way to work. Step by step, you make your sentences longer.
Perfect advice. Now that you've heard both Sarah's and my routine, we invite you to think about your own. What time do you wake up? Do you walk, take the bus, or drive? Do you eat breakfast at home or outside?
And remember, you can share your answers in the comments. Writing them in English will help you practice and remember the words better. Wow, that was a wonderful conversation, John. I really enjoyed talking about our daily routines. I think our listeners can see now that even if routines are different, the words and expressions are very useful and easy to practice.
Yes, absolutely. Talking about daily routines is one of the best ways to practice English because you already know what you do every day. You don't need to imagine something difficult. You just describe your own life in simple English.
Exactly. And when you describe your own life, the words stay in your memory longer because they are real and personal. For example, if you say every day, I wake up at 6:30, I eat toast for breakfast, I take the bus to work, then these sentences become natural for you.
That's right. And we want to remind you, don't worry if your English is not perfect. Perfection is not the goal. The goal is communication. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Mistakes are not a problem. They are steps on the journey.
So, what should you do now, dear listeners? First, think about your own routine. Ask yourself, what time do I wake up? What do I usually eat for breakfast? How do I go to school or work? What do I do first when I arrive? Write down the answers in English.
And even better, share your answers in the comments below this video. We would love to read them, and it will also inspire other learners. Imagine, you write, I wake up at 7 and I walk to school. Another learner sees your sentence and thinks, oh, I can say something like that too. In this way, we all learn together.
Yes, learning is more fun when we share. And remember, this podcast is here for you every single day. We want to be part of your daily routine too. You can listen to us in the morning while eating breakfast, or on the bus, or even before going to bed.
That's a great point. Making English part of your daily routine is the key to success. If you practice just 10 minutes a day, every day, you will see real progress in a few weeks.
Absolutely. So let's make a small challenge for our listeners. From today, try to practice English every day, even just a little.